Day 7's in the books, and the frog has
I
arrived.
was just about to say, and the frog is back.
Yep. 5 hours of constant talking at the meetup. We'll do that.
Yes, it will.
I'll be honest, I was in no condition to record last night, so we're doing this early morning on Saturday morning. So yeah, wow, what a day, huh?
Yeah.
Well, what'd you think of the day?
I thought it was busy, and the meetup was quite incredible.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So we get to the Mesa early yesterday morning, and you had no problem getting in because now you have an exhibitor pass.
Right.
And I got turned away. We ran into Brandon from Brawling Brothers and Connor from Summit game and some other folks, and Brandon and I were the ones with the press badges, and yeah, we couldn't make it in. They wouldn't let us. They pointed 9:30, and I'm like, yeah, so yeah, it didn't work. Never one to take no for an answer.
Correct.
We moseyed our way around and found another entrance and walked in like we owned the joint, or they just didn't pay us any mind. Whatever. Hey, it tells
Same,
better.
same.
It tells better the other way. So we made it in, no problem, and got the shirt set up and got all that going. And yeah, so that was kind of my entrance into the Mesa yesterday.
Yeah, I just walked in and then looked around for my badge, couldn't find it. Went to Uli. He went and got me an exhibitor badge. So that's literally the only way I'm allowed in the Mesa. So next year my pass will be attached to my forehead because I literally have no idea where it is.
So if you have a press pass out there
the
named
name of
Amanda
it,
Euler
Please
for
be
Heavy
nice.
Cardboard,
Nice to people.
Yeah. Or please.
Please.
So what was your day like? Because you and I had very disparate days.
Yeah, I pretty much stayed at the booth all day. We were hoping that if somebody was manned the whole day, that we would sell more shirts, more people would come by, but it didn't really seem to make a difference. However, it did make a difference when you were there because you are the face, and I am, people recognize my voice.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I guess because I run the streams.
Yeah,
and all
the
that
camera is
stuff,
always
and-
on you, so that makes a difference. So I'm hoping today you can be there a little bit more and
It's Saturday, so and I welcome a somewhat day off, so I'm okay with that. For me, it was all about going around, getting games, meeting folks, and both publishers, or not both, but all three publishers, designers, as well as, listeners and viewers. So I had one cool interaction yesterday, well, no, more than one, obviously, but I went over to the PD Verlag booth, which is Transatlantic, where Matt Gertz was, and he and I he had written back to me saying, yeah, we'll do an interview, but we didn't really set up a time, and I've learned from experience that means that it probably won't happen because we don't have a time set up. So I went over to his booth to touch base with him, and I realized I had never seen Matt Gertz. I'd never heard Matt Gertz, and I've never seen a picture of Matt Gertz. So I walk over to the front of the booth and I ask, is Mac here? Which is just, that's kind of weird. Just that sentence. I don't know why, but yeah, anyway. Gentleman there points to an older gentleman teaching Transatlantic. So not one to want to interrupt. I came around to the table and waited until it seemed like he was done. And I was like, excuse me, Mr. Gertz. And he turned towards me and I introduced myself. And I was like, would you be available for an interview on Sunday? He says, we go now.
Okay, yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm not going to say no. So I was like, wow, okay. I wasn't really prepared for this, but he was only, I don't know, 4 or 5 booths down from where we were. So he threw on a sport coat and we headed back to our booth. He asked me if we had any fresh coffee. And I told him we had a little like Keurig thing.
Yeah, it's like a Dolce Gusto something or other.
Well, that's fancy.
Yeah.
Or Keurig but I had no idea how to make it. So Mac's in there sitting down in our meeting room, and I'm frantically like eyeing around looking for somebody that works the booth that I imagine might know how to work this coffee maker. So I find somebody, and it's a little, it's a one-shot little individual coffee maker. It's completely unlike anything we have at the house.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, yeah, sure, and showed me how to use it. So I am really good for today. I am looking forward to that. I will be partaking. So made the coffee, go in, and Mac and I are sitting down, and Carmen comes walking by the booth through the window, and he's like, oh, like, I'll take a picture. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So we sit down, and he takes a picture, so that was cool. Get the equipment set up and sit down for an interview, and really enjoyed it. I had some really, really cool thoughts he did on design and everything else. So you guys will hear that down the road. And we also went to interview one of the heads of Phalanx Games, along with Mark Simonich, regarding Hannibal, Rome versus Carthage.
Well, Hannibal and Hamilcar too, right?
Well, yeah, and Hamilcar, right? The standalone sequel, kind of.
Yeah,
for
it's not an expansion, and it's not a different scenario. It's a completely different game.
Right, within the same box on the other side of the board. And Yarrow, who is the head of Phalanx, or one of the founders of Phalanx, God bless him. It was awesome. He is very passionate. And wouldn't shut up in the best way possible. And so me, Yarrow, and Mark Simonich had an interview. We talked about why the minis in Hannibal, and what's coming next, and all that. So that was pretty cool. That was fun. It was really cool to meet Mark as well. And then we had an intro, kind of an overview, I think is a good way to put it, for U-Boot.
It's a submarine simulation game that utilizes an app to do sounds, and it also...
And kind of runs the game. Well, not really, but like random event stuff.
Right, and you can pick up your phone and move it around to look through the periscope of the submarine, and the ocean moves wherever you're looking, and that's pretty cool. But
it was really cool.
Yeah, but it's just you have different... you have 4 different like officer types.
Yeah, stations. Right.
And it's all the way from the captain just saying, "Hey, go do this," to the guy that has to make sure we have enough food for everybody on the boat. I mean, it seems pretty cool.
It really did, and it has this really big 3D sub that was just. Wow.
It's huge.
It has a table presence
about
it. Took a bunch of pictures about it, and it's a 4-player or up to 4-player co-op, which y'all know how we feel about co-ops. However, I don't know, man. There's something about this game. The fact that the ship itself, the sub, is historical. The scenarios are historical. And one of my favorite aspects of this, the app was amazing. Like looking through the periscope, like you look up, you look around, and it looks like you're looking through a periscope.
That's pretty cool.
It was really cool. But the part that had me most excited, you navigate the sub and have to determine vectors and everything for firing. And you navigate using a ruler and a compass, and it was, or a protractor type, and I was like, I really want to find out how they incorporate this and see it actually in action.
Yeah.
So U-Boot, I guess, is supposed to be coming on Kickstarter the next month or two from Phalanx, and I'm looking forward to checking that out for sure. Outside of that, guys, I also interviewed Elad Goldstein from Golden Egg Games yesterday, and so we had 3 interviews throughout the whole day. That I thought was a really good interview because he's designer, developer, and publisher.
It's all in one.
Yep. So I thought that was really good. Just meeting a ton of people and. Couldn't be happier about it. I welcome sounding like a frog every time. This is my like Christmas for what it is that we do, right? So about 6 o'clock, oh, you know what? Hold on. We didn't talk about lunch. The falafel. Dude, that was some quality falafel that we had. So thank you for getting that.
You're welcome. There's a little stand, and they don't speak anything but Greek and German. So I was just pointing. I got a gyro, and you got a falafel sandwich, and they were both really good. So.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
a big fan of the falafel. I will probably try the gyro today or go back to my steak sandwich, depending on how that works out. But after that, we decided to call it a day about 6 o'clock because it didn't want what happened at a meetup last year, meaning I got there like 5 minutes before and couldn't get a seat. So we got there. We left at 6, headed over to Fitzpatrick's, met with Lorna, the manager, as well as Patrick, the owner. Both very Irish, and
Yes.
that was cool. Set up for next year, so we're good to go there. And then waited. We had dinner, and we had a handful of folks show up early, and then more and more folks trickled in. Ended up with a completely full room,
Yep.
plus standing room only. So that was awesome. And I don't want to name drop. We get accused of doing that, so I don't just. It was
There's a lot
who's
of
who.
people there.
It was a who's who, both of industry as well as listeners and viewers, and it was just amazing. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Last year, I was worried that 6 people would show up. This year, I was a little bit less concerned about that and just excited to meet everybody. So it was less nervous and more, okay, let's get prepared for
Right.
this, and this is going to be just wow.
Yeah, and it was.
Yeah, so what was your experience like?
Well, being me, I sat over in the corner with the shirts. But I enjoyed watching you work the room, and I enjoyed just watching you in your element. And I don't like crowds, so I was just kind of over in the corner by myself. And everybody kept coming up and, "Are you okay? Everything okay?" They give me a thumbs up, like I'm wanting a thumbs up back. Just I thought it was really sweet how everybody was making sure that I was okay over there. And but yeah, it was incredible. I think it's the best way to put it. It felt very amazing to have that many people show up for us.
And somebody had told me towards the end of the night that they liked that we didn't do giveaways at this, because the people that showed up because they wanted to show up and they wanted to come. So yeah, I gave a little, I guess, speech, whatever, just saying thanks to everybody for coming. Amanda will edit that when we get home and put that out there. It was embarrassing for me, but whatever. Yeah, it was just, it's a highlight of Essen for me. It really, really is. Just the fact that these people take time out of their precious gaming time and whatever to come hang out, eat dinner, have drinks, and just be around like-minded folks. It still blows me away. It really, really does.
It's just incredible.
It really is. So thank you to everybody that came. Hopefully next year we may have room for more folks, more to come on that as the year progresses. But after that, lots of wine was drank, lots of very little business was talked between anybody, and it was more or less just, you know what, a bunch of gamers,
Just talking.
regardless of industry, media, it didn't matter.
Nope.
Just happy to be around one another, and it was just seriously, thank you to everybody that came. You made it really, really special for us. For me, at least, and I assume for
yes,
you.
Of course.
Just awesome. So, yeah, that's it. And then we took a cab home. our cab driver spoke very little English, but enough. And I had taken a screenshot of the address and just showed it to him. He's like, yeah, no problem. And so we went, and so I tried to make small talk, as I am wont to do.
Yes,
Or
extrovert.
not so much small talk, just curiosity.
Extrovert's gonna extrovert.
Right? And I asked him how long he'd been driving a cab. 34 years.
Yeah, we didn't expect that answer.
And I was like, all in Essen? He's like, yep. I say, you from Essen? He said, yep. And all right, so that's that. So we got home, I don't know, just before 1 in the morning. And we did stop by the karaoke, though. That's on the
my
back,
gosh.
the backside of Fitzpatrick's on Friday nights.
Yes, we did. And I almost had a panic attack and I completely shut down. That was the only way I could get through there. It was awful for me. There was so many people. You had to just use sheer force of will to get through the crowd to go to the bath. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I imagine fire code was not
being enforced. No.
So the backside of Fitzpatrick's is part of the restaurant, but on Friday nights they turn it into a bit of a karaoke bar, and it's the only restroom in the joint is through the throngs
Yes.
of people and upstairs, and trying to go there was just unbelievable. There definitely were a few more people than last year, and it was just, I've never seen people that tightly packed in before. There was a lot of people, but took a little video of them enjoying a little cranberry zombie.
That was fun.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The entire bar singing along.
Yeah.
And
I was fine because I was up on the stairs.
so that was cool.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, like I said, after that we took a cab home. You called it a night. I went next door because Rolf and Yolanda and everybody else was over there, and they were finishing up a game of Scythe. They basically mostly took the day off yesterday to play games and just hang out. And yeah, we didn't. We're here for Spiel, and we're gonna Spiel. Damn it. So yeah, Amanda's gonna edit this. We're gonna head to the Messe and hopefully meet a lot more people today.
Yes.
So come by the booth.
Come on and see us.
And yeah, we'll catch y'all later.
Bye.
Bye, guys.